Hello, 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 my beloved souls. Welcome back. I'm Autumn, the Enlightened Daughter. For those of you who don't know me, for those of you who do, welcome back, High Vibe Tribe. I'm so glad to be here with you. So, happy 777 portal, right? Sirius Gateway. Super exciting. I'm sorry that I have a mitt in my mouth. There's a massive healing and clearing going on with the throat chakra for the collective. And I've been coughing for days, and I'm like, okay, well, that's intense. Like, evidently, like, I know I've been called to be more of the oracle that I incarnated to be and to use my voice more. And I know that I kind of be like doing it a little bit here and there. Not really like anything on a grander scale. And I'm being guided very clearly through all of the throat chakra healing and clearings that I'm going through to be reminded that like that is something I need to do. And it's not just for me, but that's for many of us within this light working community, right? Like we're being pushed forward to step on our path, to stand in our truth, to do what needs to be done, to open our mouths, to speak, to clear, to be that pathway, right? To be um not only bearers of light, but bearers of 111 I just saw, but bearers of like wisdom and knowledge and understanding and allow those inner truths and deeper spiritual knowledges to come within us, right? Today is the Sirius Gateway portal, right? 777. It's like triple sevens on the freaking casino machine, right? So think about it. Think about when you see triple sevens and you're playing freaking like slots at the machine or whatever, right? Like that's good luck. That's good fortune. So that's this day. That's the seven amplified. Seven is the number of the God within of angelic protection, divine timing. Um what else? I have like hella notes because there was so many channels coming through for me today. I just couldn't even like handle all of it. Um Oh, and our intuition is being like amplified, right? And that's been a message that's been coming in for weeks. But you guys know, like I'm already I do precursors, right? Like the energy comes to me first, and then like the next wave comes to the collective. So I've been going through it, especially with the throat chakra stuff, coughing, hacking. I know I'm not sick. I don't feel sick. It just feels like there's like a little hair like tickling the back of my throat, right? So freaking annoying, so funny, but annoying at the same time. Um, so this gateway is pretty intense, and I found the theme, what seems to be the freaking theme of July, really. But mainly with these energies that have really been coming in, especially since um that last new moon is boundaries, right? And we've talked about this before on this channel, but there's a difference between boundaries and walls, right? Like walls keep everybody else out, yeah, cool, but then they also block you from seeing, just like it blocks others from seeing, and it blocks you from seeing clearly out, right? Boundaries, walls are like this, right? We're not seeing nothing, right? We gotta like really try hard to get around it, right? But boundaries give us some clarity. So we're like discerning and we're like, huh, I know what's on the other side of that now. Do I want to deal with it? Yes or no, right? Do I want to involve that in my life? And so there's big energy right now of boundaries being tested. Um, what are you going to do, or how do you show up in a situation when your boundaries are crossed? Are you going to stand in your truth? Are you going to stand in your no? Are you going to allow yourself the gift of solitude, isolation, and potential loneliness in order to heal these energies, because your boundaries keep getting tested, because your boundaries keep getting crossed, because people are not respecting them, right? Because you might have to make some really hard truths, might have to understand some really hard truths and have some really uncomfortable conversations, right? And again, seven is the number of the divine, right? Especially, the divine lives within each of us. And so it's like when you dishonor yourself, my beloved, you dishonor the divine. When you allow others to dishonor you and to disrespect you and to cross those lines, then you're allowing others to basically spit in the face of, the God within you. And that's not okay. It's not okay. And so we're being pushed during this beautiful time, just 333 that I'm seeing on the clock. Oh, the Ascended Masters, Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, Kuan Yin, Teresa de Avila, Saint Marguerite, Our Lady de Guadalupe, is that her name? I don't know if that's her name, but that's what I'm saying. Um, they all just came forward when I said 333, so dope for that. Here supporting us in this circle during this time. Um, what was I saying? Boundaries, right? So you're dishonoring yourself and you're dishonoring the divinity within you, the divinity that is you, at the same time. So during this time, what I've seen a lot come up, and I literally had to write it all down because there was so much happening within the collective and within like my own um circumstances and shifts that I'm growing through, and I'm being relocated again to another area to do some grid work over there. I understand the oh my god, excuse me. It's hilarious and it sucks, but this is what's been happening. Um, I understand the path of why I keep getting shifted and where I keep getting shifted to, right? Because where I'm getting shifted to is not top of my list. Say that. Definitely checked off a lot of boxes, but when I was trying to figure out why that specific area, um, ancestors rolled up quick, quick, and I've been feeling the ancestors coming in heavy and knowing that I need to do more like direct with them, work with them. Like I do direct work with like the angelic realm very, very clearly, but not necessarily like the ancestral realm, like like my nana and all those people that are relevant to my life. And they've been coming in heavy, like really supporting the collective during this time, during these shifts as we move forward. Like our ancestors are like freaking the batteries in our back right now. They're like, come on, let's do it. Like you guys are like, you're doing better than you think you are, but with that energy, and some of you are your ancestors, right? Some of us are our ancestors. Some of us have done this before and came back in the same lineage to do it again, to do the healing, to do the clearing, to clear all the stuff that's coming up. Disempowerment, conflict, frustration, anger, um, prioritizing, fear, value, the fires. Oh my Lord, with everybody coming up with these freaking it's like people are all right, I'll get into that in a minute. Anyway, the fires, false alarms, false prophets, fear, old wounds and traumas reemerging, avoidance versus awareness. That's been a big one. Crankiness, always with the projection, right? People love to project their issues onto us, and having time to pause, stop, reflect on the lessons that you had to grow through. All of that energy is being amplified. It's been amplified since that full moon in Capricorn, really big time. If you are, an earth sign or a Cancer, um, this probably had a huge effect on you. I want to say also those with Aquarian, strong Aquarius placements in their charts as well. Like I saw that this was a heavy energy for all of those signs, not just them, but obviously just a lot for them. And a lot of the old energies and fears that are within us and surrounding us really coming through the body in areas that show us where we have not allowed ourselves to heal or I'm so sorry guys, I'm so sorry. Try to mute it next time before I start coughing. um all right. So this stuck energy really pushing forth through the body, and our body being a reflection and showing us where we're not doing the work, where we've allowed ourselves to be stuck, where we violated our own self, right? Like the number 7 is the number of self. as well, right? So it's the number of self, it's the number of divinity within. Like I said, when you allow someone to violate you, you allow someone to violate the God within you, right? Because you are divine, you're a child of the Most High God. You're a child of the Most High God, so obviously God must be within you. It's like your earth parents, right? I'm sure you see a little bit of both of them in you, whether you like it or not. It's irrelevant. You know what I mean? So when we're focusing on the self and on self love and self worth and self value and self respect and self deservedness, we need to start showing up in a different way. And so when we are creating these false fires, right? It's this energy of everything is a rush, everything is urgent, everything is sorry, everything's on fire, right? And so there are boundaries that need to be set for people to realize that like your time I'm so sorry guys. It had stopped for a while too, which is why I decided to record. Anyway, your time, your energy, your resources are all valuable, right? Point blank and simple. And so when you stand in your truth and when you begin to prioritize yourself, right? Because you have to make you the most important part of the dynamic because you're the one that's going to keep showing up, in these dynamics. So how is this blessing you? How is this serving you on this day, right? Is this a good use of your energy? Is this a good use of your time? Is this a good use of your resources, right? And so when we honor ourselves during this time, then we're going to have to say no to some things. We're going to have to stop showing up for some things. We're going to have to prioritize. And that's not always easy when you're used to being, dun, 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 captain and, Saberho, male or female, doesn't matter. Either way, it's like, are you showing up in all these ways because that's who you are as a person? Or are you doing it because you're trying to earn and receive love in other ways, right? Or is somebody manipulating your energy and trying to make it about them? Because again, this energy of the self, right? Doesn't necessarily is there's a shadow side to everything, right? The light side is yes, I'm honoring myself, I'm loving myself, I'm caring for myself, I'm going to prioritize myself, I'm going to value myself, I'm going to stand in my truth, I'm going to allow myself to communicate clearly, I'm going to let people know how I feel even if it makes me uncomfortable or them upset, right? And that's not like a petty thing where we're going out there just like stirring the pot and fucking kicking up rocks. I'm so sorry. Right? It's not that type of energy. It's the energy of I love myself enough to say no sometimes, right? Like I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I don't have that to give to you right now. Right? And not allowing the person who's in the shadow energy of the self to try to manipulate you or make you feel guilty or that whole like narcissistic behavior or make it all about them in that moment when you just had a conversation about you. Like, I'm not feeling well, this is what I'm going through. And it's like, yeah, but I need and I need and I need from you. And then when you say no, the one time out of 100 where you've said a million yeses, then you're the bad girl or the bad guy, right? And so a lot of that energy is coming out right now for you to have these really hard conversations. Disempowerment is a big part of this. And again, apologies. Again, with this 777 energy, that's fortuitous. That's good luck. That's your manifestations amplified. Things like triple. You know what I mean? With this energy, it's a really brilliant positive number. It is protected. That is a God number. It's a gift. So what we're focused on, where we're directing our energies, all of that stuff has the power to really expand during this time, right? Our manifestations are amplified during this time, good, bad, or indifferent. And I think it's very important that I keep telling everybody that, right? Because we tend to look at like the law of attraction, and people are just talking about the law of attraction with the things that they want. And yeah, I want this red car, and I want this shiny thing, or this fancy thing, or this person, or whatever, whatever. But excuse me, we forget, when I forget, we don't 1444. I just saw, we don't focus enough on the fact that like that energy, the law of attraction, the law of reciprocity, karma, whatever you choose to call it, whatever you put out comes back to you three times, right? It's that energy flow. Whatever we put out is going to come back to us three times. Where our thoughts go gets amplified and comes back to us. So if we're focused on negative stuff, if we're focused on our anger and these big fires of chaos in our life and drama and upheaval and turmoil, then guess what we get to keep creating in our life, right? And so then it seems like your life is always in drama, upheaval, and turmoil, but that's because that's what you want. How many times are you going to tell the same story about the fact that you had a shitty night at work? You told it to your coworkers, and you told it to the other group of coworkers, and you told it to the managers, and you told it to your girlfriend, and you told it to your cousin, and you told it to your dad when you spoke to them. Like, you love this story. Obviously, you like feeling that way because you keep replaying the energy. As opposed to being like, you know what, it sucked, I'm over it, and move past it, right? Like, what did you learn from the day, and how do you do things differently? How long are we going to sit there and be bitter, right? And resentful and upset and making our physical bodies sick, right? Our physical avatars. I just spoke to someone today who was very resentful, in a relationship that she's in. She feels, you know, frustrated and can't let some things go. And now is going to, needs a colonoscopy to figure some things out. You know what I'm saying? Like these things have an effect, a long-term effect on our physical avatars. They really do. And so it's up for us to shift through these energies, to shift through these conflicts, to establish strong boundaries, to speak our voice, to open up and say something, to not tolerate it because that's what's always been done, or that's what women always did, or that's what men always did, or in my family it's like this. It's like a friend of mine doesn't want to leave her husband, right? And I get it. There's a lot of reasons, but the main reason is people in my family don't get divorced. If you do that, like it's a bad thing. And I'm like, so people that are not in your marriage get to dictate whether or not you stay in your marriage because they were miserable in their marriage and they stuck it out, so they think that you should have the same unfortunate ending to your life and your happiness. Like, that's odd to me. It's odd to me that, one, we want people to be miserable just because we and suffer because we did. And it's odd to me that we choose to be miserable and suffer because other people did, and so we feel some kind of way or kind of guilty for having things be a little bit easier. But why do we feel that way? The 777 portal, the Sirius gateway portal, is the stairway to heaven. That is when the doors of heaven are open. That is when the Sirius star and the galactic stud or conjunct, sorry, it's like the God star. This is this is the divine coming through, right? And so again, how are you honoring God by dishonoring yourself? How are you honoring the Most High, whatever you call it, God, universe, the One, Source, whatever you choose to call it, your higher self? How are you honoring that energy source in your own life by staying miserable, upset, fearful, argumentative, conflicted, um, trying to avoid all of your issues, purposely having a lack of awareness because most of you know better but choose not to want to do better. And so ignorance then becomes bliss because then you can just like deflect. There is a lot of this energy right now of people avoiding their own energies because they don't want to do the work. And the places that you're seeing it kind of blow up the most are those that really are being called to task on their own energetic fields, right? Like their soul is in disalignment with their ego and conflicts are arising, right? the frustration that's coming out, right, is that fight between the soul and the ego. The frustration is you're doing one thing that's taking you off of your pathway, and your soul is pulling you in the other way. And when you keep fighting against what it is that you signed up for with your soul, and the things that you're supposed to fulfill in this lifetime, that's when we start seeing dis-ease and illnesses and all types of other upheaval and break and chaos happening in our lives. Like I was working with someone recently who was super excited about um a job that they got offered, right? To relocate, do all these amazing things in their life. Um, but they didn't want to give up the location that they were currently in. And it didn't make any sense. It was like, well, why are you spreading yourself thin like this, right? You're about to come up, save some bread, live a better lifestyle, and thrive in this other area. But it was like, no, I want to hold on, want to hold on, want to hold on, want to hold on. So what is that telling me? That's telling me that you're not really trusting in yourself with this position. That's telling me that a part of you is scared to let go. That's telling me that a part of you is scared that it may not work. That's putting into the universe fear, doubt, chaos, um, lack of worthiness. Something may go wrong, right? You just put that energy out there instead of just celebrating and being joyful and joyous about this energy. What happens as we keep putting this fear energy out there, because at every turn it's a question, but it's like, well, why is it a question, right? So many people are putting question marks where God has placed a period. The job is yours. Is it? The job is yours. The job is yours. No, it's not a question. The job is yours, period. The job is yours. No, right? The infliction is different. The job is yours. He said what he said. She said what she said. Why we keep questioning, why we keep doubting it, right? And I get that because I do it too. I'm a human being. I sat here and asked them the same question like 55 times. I know my angels be like, bitch, do you hear us? Are you dumb? You know what I mean? Sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. But, you know, when the Holy Spirit speaks, when the guides speak, when our team of light speaks, the answers don't change just because we just keep asking the same question, right? And so there's a big shift within the collective now of getting the spirit energy out. There's a big shift within the collective now of tapping into your divinity. And when I tell you, when the next 72 hours, the energy is so potent for you to manifest some of the most deliciously magnificent things in your life, you have no idea. But it's going to be a matter of, is that your focus, right? What is your focus? What are you focusing on right now? What are you focusing on right now? You guys know that I've been like up and down, back and forth, going through so much with all these moves and being shifted around to all these different areas, and through a series of through a series of seemingly unfortunate events, right? Um, we just secured our new home, and we're gonna be moving in a few days, and I'm so grateful to the Most High God for blessing us with that. For giving us that blessing. And there was a lot of people, cooperative components that came through to make it happen. And so every step of the way, I just kept praising God and thanking all the people that were coming through and coming together to help us to make this transaction, to make this transition, right? To move forward to whatever it was going to take. I'm like, I don't know, whoever the landlord is, whoever the freaking movers are, whoever is selling me the furniture, whoever went to the farmer and picked the food, like, thank everybody, because all of y'all are making this magic happen, and I'm with it, and I'm so grateful for it. You know what I mean? Um, so as I'm shifting through, and I have kids, and they are my priority, and there's nothing in this world more important, and obviously, like, us having stability in the home it's super important. And I'm going through this stuff and growing through this stuff, and I'm having people like trying to, and I'm in a place where like there's barely any internet or phone. Keep telling everybody that. Like, I'm in a place where I can barely make a phone call sometimes. It took me almost 8 hours to download a video the last time I was on here. You know what I mean? It was like few and far in between. So I'm like, I'm doing the best I can, but I can't do everything, you know? And then I'm having people call me with like chaos, like, oh, you need to stop everything you're doing in the world to put out this fake ass fire. And so I'm like stopping and connecting with some people, and I'm like, it's not a fire. It's a picture of a fire. What are we doing? Everybody chill out. Everybody cool out. Everybody take a breath. And it got so overwhelming that not only was like the Most High timing me out with the internet and the phone, I couldn't really connect. But then I got like energetically sick. Like I couldn't take those energies. Like they were just low and frantic and free. And I'm like, what is happening in the world? Everybody take a step back. You know what I mean? Like I literally had to just shield and protect myself even harder during these times. And a lot of that is coming up. A lot of those inner child wounds, a lot of people projecting their chaos onto you. All of that is coming up. And it's time for you to reflect and look at yourself and these relationships and these dynamics. Of what is the message? What is the message of this energy for me right now as myself? Right? Me, myself, and I. How am I showing up? Why is this showing up in my life? Is this an energy that I've been giving out to people? Right? Or is this them projecting stuff onto me that I don't want to deal with anymore? And therefore, I need to set a stronger boundary, right? Therefore, I need to kind of tell everybody to back up. I had to tell everybody to back up. I had to shut it down. I had to shut it down. And I lost my temper, in that thing. And do I regret losing my temper? Absolutely not, because what was said needed to be said in a manner in which people need to realize, like, stop fucking playing with me and talk to me nice. I think people forget that, like, the old me is still in me. Like, I'm here now, but I could black out at any moment. Um, anyway, sorry about that. Um, so I try to just chill. Um, yes, I had to set some really strong boundaries and I had to say some really things. And so when I lost my temper, a couple of my friends were like, "Oh, that's good. Finally you should be fed up, with the circumstances and things that are going on, like these people were in the wrong." And I'm like, I don't feel good about losing my temper because when I lose my temper, I give my power away. When I lose my temper, where I'm at on my path, I have work to do to clean it up. Like, that's not cute. Like, I'm mad that I got to the point where I lost my temper, but I was like, I think that it wasn't so much of the losing my temper as the fact that, like, sometimes you have to speak to people in language in which they understand. And they weren't understanding calm, peaceful Zen in alignment with the Most High, trying to give you channeled messages on them. They were only understanding Harlem Autumn. And I was like, okay, well, when in Rome. Anyway, let me stop playing. So, a lot of that going on, guys. So, there are going to be things that are testing your boundaries. There are going to be things that are reflecting back to you and your beautiful self, what you need to know, what you need to do, where you're at on your path and how you've been showing up and where the boundaries need to be set in different areas of your life, right? Because we're all on different paths, it's going to be different for everyone, right? Like the boundary may be something that you need to set at work. And maybe these things are going on at work because you need to leave that job because you're being pushed to your path. And I'm going to tell you this right now, my beautiful, beautiful beings of light. Many of you have super dope talents and gifts that you're incarnated with that you're supposed to be using right now to help serve the collective, and you're shying away from it, or you're bullshitting with it, or you're being distracted and all that's being shaken up. There's a reason why you're getting frustrated at work and you can't stop thinking about your passion. You can't stop thinking about your goal. And every time you go to work, it's just even more irritating, right? Why? Because these are the things that you're supposed to be moving away from, right? That job was a growth period for you. You weren't supposed to stay that long. So it's time for you to move on. Point blank and simple. I'm making the easiest terms. Anyway, I'm gonna pull from a few decks. Sorry, I feel congested. Let me go blow up my nose and I'll be right back with you. Thank you, beloveds. Sorry about that. I was already clearing like throat chakra stuff before. And then when I went into the meditation to connect with the energies, the collective to bring forth the reading, I like almost couldn't get through it. You know what I mean? Like I was like, couldn't get through it. It took me a long time to be able to like, okay, let me connect with the energies, but I don't want to die. Like I want to give them the reading. It was so funny. It was so funny. Um, so anyway, so just now like everything just like kind of closed off. So there's a lot coming up, guys, that's being cleared out. So if you've been having sore throat, runny nose, stuffy nose, coughing, sneezing, um, even I want to say a little bit of like vomiting, that tickle at the back of your throat, like all of this stuff, all this, even like tightness of your chest, all of this, that energy just that's been stuck moving through. Not a doctor, I'm not giving you a diagnosis, I'm just putting it out there from an energetics perspective of what I have observed with my own life and clients. Having said that, time to pull some cards. We're about 30 minutes in. Thank you guys for being so patient listening to this. But a lot was downloaded this week, and I was like, okay. We're gonna start with the Gateway Oracle, because when I was pulling forth the cards to see what to do to connect with you guys, and again, the ancestors are on a roll, so their energy is super deep and strong at this point. So we're gonna be talking to them. Having said that, when I was pulling forth the cards to connect with everybody's energies, I grabbed the Gateway Oracle and was like, whole body rock. So we're gonna start with that to see what's going on with this um Sirius gateway for everybody, and then we'll move on to the angels and ancestors, I guess, maybe, or work your light. I don't know. There's a lot going on. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. Pause the video, maybe get a snack. I don't know. Thank you, angels. Thank you guys for being here with me in the collective at this time. What do we need to know? What do we need to see for this portal? Oh, you guys know, big weather goes on whenever something major is going on around me, right? Yesterday I found out that I was getting the home, and I knew something was about to happen because I was talking to my son. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the conversation, I'm like thinking about the home. I'm like, that home has to be mine. It was like boom, 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 pow! This lightning cracked the sky, boom, it went white, and we were like, yo. Like an hour later, I had a missed call and a voicemail, and it was from the man telling me that I got the house. Okay. So anyway, today, same thing. I'm out and about. I'm doing stuff, trying to get through trying to walk down a block to go to the store. And I see mad helicopters, this cop running, cars. I'm like, okay, remind me of home. I thought I was in New York for a moment. I ain't scared. I kept walking because I'm from New York. And they're like, can you go this way, man? Because it's like a crime scene over here. I'm like, oh, y'all don't let people walk through crime scenes here? Like, so new. It's so different. So funny. Anyway, so a lot going on. And then what do I see? Yellow tape. And I'm like, wow, another symbol of freaking boundaries, right? Everywhere. It's about boundaries, 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 and honoring thyself. So if you don't say nothing else from this message, take that. Anyway, thank you, angels. Thank you guys for being here with me in the collective at this time. What do we need to know? What do we need to see? Oh, and as I was walking home, that was the point of that story. As I was walking home from a little yellow tape situation after going out of my way and having to go back, as I was coming back, they still wouldn't let me do it again. And I'm like, come on, it's about to rain. Because me and why I say I walk around the corner, and what happens? Because I opened my mouth and I said it was going to rain, and I work with weather, it starts raining on me. As soon as I get home, it stopped. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. What did I tell you triple sevens meant? I mean, come on. And I just saw 3333 on the clock. Manifesting dreams. My dreams are coming true. Come on, guys. Like, that is the energy of this portal. That is so dope. Opening to love, my heart is open. So listen, if love is something that you want to manifest at this time, you know, harmonious relationships, intimacy, that type of thing. Start putting that energy out there, right? Like really start putting it out there. We're working with like finances and abundance and stuff like that. And when you've grown up in poverty and fear for so long and lack, you hold on to things, right? And so having to learn to let go and to trust and to spend the money and to buy the thing, even if it's a dollar or two more than the other thing you wanted just because it's a better quality, and to show the universe that you deserve these things, it's going to start coming back to you. And so we need to start opening up to what? To our cornucopia, to the brilliance, to the fulfillment, to the fruitfulness of this divinity, the fruitfulness of your life through your own divine nature, my Lord. Bottom of the deck, believing in magic. Those who do not believe in magic will never see it, right? Roll down. True magic is abounding in my life. Are you going to allow it to come forth? Right? Look at this. We have a key, music symbols, stars, the Ankh, lightning, right? Look at all these different images that are going on right here. What are you manifesting? What are you creating? What are you focused on? Because that's what you're going to get, right? I was focused on my new home. I kept seeing keys. I kept seeing myself go like this with the keys and signing paper. I kept seeing it. I kept seeing it. I kept seeing it for months. And that was my image. And even as I was walking towards the home, I was like, come on, God, like I am tired of this process. I need help. I need a good look. I need somebody who's gonna be like ba 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 on the same page with me. You know what I mean? I was like, like I'm tired of this process. Put the power behind my focus. Right? Walked into the blessing like, come on, God, like this has to be it. Like let's do this. And boom. Right? So some of you need to be a little bit more passionate about your goals, your dreams, your manifestations, right? Whether that passion is just your behavior or your act or the excuse me, the action steps that you're being guided to take, or sex magic, or whatever it is that you do to fuel your passion, to get that point across, to add that energy to your manifestation is going to help you magnify to manifest it at this time. And again, within the next 72 hours, those energies, your solo energy is being amplified, tripled, right? We just saw 33333. So get on it. You know what I'm saying? Be crystal clear about what it is that you want. Again, what are you focused on? Remember that people have free will before you start doing too much. Don't focus so much on a person as much as on an energy, right? Of something that you're trying to align with and call into your life. And then start moving. Get with it. All right? Angels and ancestors. What do we need to know? What do we need to see at this time? What messages do you have for us today? So, yeah, I love the work that I do. I really do, guys. Like I don't know if I say that enough. I love channeling. I love reading cards. I love being blessed and gifted to be able to be one of the oracles of the divine, right? To be the mouth of God. It really just pleases my soul. And so when I'm doing these messages that are getting channeled to me before I even pull cards, and then I'm seeing cards speak exactly to what I'm saying, it just blows my mind every time, right? Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect, right? What did I say? This time is to take the time back to reflect on where we're at and the lessons that we've been growing through, right? That was a big thing that came in with these boundaries. Energy was reflect, like pause, stop, reflect. Look where you at, right? Take a moment to look around. I do this with my kids all the time. Like we go out sometimes, and I'll be like, stop talking, look around. And they're like, what? I'm like, stop talking and look around. Get your bearings. Know where you're at. What if we get separated? Right? Look for landmarks. Know how to get home. These are things that are important. Right? Sometimes we're so busy, and I am definitely guilty of this. I just got reprimanded again by my team of light about this. Um, we're so busy on the hustle and the grind and moving things forward that we forget sometimes to just stop and take a look around and be like, wow, look at how far I've come. You know what I mean? I'm not where I was, but I'm definitely way further than I've ever been, right? And that's super dope, and it's super powerful, and it's super intense, and it's super amazing. So sometimes we need to just stop and reflect. And again, with the situations and the people that are coming in your life and this different energy that's around you, are these projections onto you, or these reflections back to you of things that need to shift in your life. And if you're seeing this energy consistently, different areas, guess what, baby? That's a reflection. You got to deal with that. It's different if a person just comes at you and they're just snapping at you kind of like out of nowhere because they're growing through something and they just needed an outlet, to you dating the same type of guy, dating the same type of girl, working in the same types of environments, meeting the same types of friends. Those are the situations that are reflecting back to you that this is your energy and you need to shift it. That's why we have discernment. That's why you need to have an awareness of yourself. That's why it's important to know yourself, right? To know when we're the bad guy in somebody's story, because we've all been the bad guy in somebody's story. And it's time to be accountable for it, but it's also time to forgive ourselves for it so we can move forward. And when it comes to this energy of boundaries, right? And I'm sorry, I know I'm jumping around. Protection guardian came in, right? Again, 7 is the number of angelic protection, protection from the divine, of course. Drop your shields. This is again the energy of the difference between a wall and boundaries, right? We want to have some visibility. We want to have some clarity. We want to look and go, you know what? Not you, but you. Yes, right? Because we can see, because we've given ourselves the blessing of clarity, because we've given ourselves the blessing of sight, because we've allowed ourselves to put down our shields long enough to look at what is before so that we can see how we want to deal with that energy. It doesn't mean that the shield can't come back up and protect you in any moment. It means let me put it down for a second and see where I'm at. You know what I mean? Okay. Oh my gosh, yes. Dream and journey. This would be a dope time to do what? What does Autumn do all the time? What's the homework? Journal. Journal. Script. This is a perfect time to do that. Get a dream journal out. Script out your day. Script out the fantasy. Whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. Really get into that energy, guys. Really get into the energy, whether you're just telling a story or saying it in prayer or singing it to yourself in the shower. I just heard this dope song. I'm gonna put the link down below. Um, but the song is a whole affirmation, right? And it's dope. And I tell people, especially people that I work with, I'm like, be mindful of the music that you're listening to because you're playing it back and forth to your subconscious. And I was like, I'm not saying that I don't listen to, you know, I guess inappropriate stuff. I mean, I'm a 70s baby, right? So I grew up during hip hop's reign. You know what I mean? Like when it first started, and I saw all the music come in and out and the different genres and the different areas grow. So I know what it is and I know the music that's important, inappropriate and just be talking shit. I get it. But I'm mindful of the things that I'm playing back to back in my mind. I'm mindful of the things that I'm singing. I'm even mindful of the things that I listen to right before I go to bed because I want the last song that I heard to be something that's speaking life over me, not something that's speaking death over me, something that's speaking illness, something that's speaking disease or distortion or heartache or heartbreak, right? I don't want that to go into my subconscious mind when I'm going to bed. No, I'm gonna listen to maybe a blessing or uplifting song about love or something that's motivating me to do better, or the song with or some affirmations or something to change my energy, or even just a comedy and just laugh just so my vibration is high when I go to bed, so that I'm in that high vibrational state during my sleep state and when I wake up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So dream and journey. I love this for you. Go deep within. And ooh, look, mountains. Stand. Hold on. I don't want to accidentally pause the video like I did last time. Stand your ground. Look at this. Again, boundaries, guys. Boundaries and protection. There's a theme, is there not? Right? Set some boundaries and stand in it. And I know, listen, I know that that is challenging. I'm in conflict right now with someone that I love very dearly, and I'm heartbroken that it has to be this way at this moment. But I and I said this before as we were talking about, intuition. I trust in God wholeheartedly, right? I trust in the divinity within me. I trust in my team of light and the guidance that I receive, right? I have watched it play out time and time again. I have watched healings come through. I have watched miracles happen. I have helped be a conduit of healings and blessings and miracles. And I'm watching miracles happen in my life. I'm watching miracles happen around me. I'm meeting people and I'm watching divine timing at work. I'm watching intuition kick in, and I have to honor that. I have to honor that because this is my path. And so just because I love you and just because you mean the world to me and just because you are special to me doesn't mean that I'm going to dishonor the God within me to accommodate you. And that's kind of an issue for some people in my life. And this may be an issue for some of the people, for some of you right now, right? And I had to get to a point on my path where I was like, yo, if it's between God and you, fuck you. And it's like, oh my gosh, you're saying that, but you're talking about, you're a minister and you're praying to God and you're talking about God all day. I'm talking about God all day and I'm telling you that I'm not going to let you violate me or the divinity within me to accommodate your egoic fears and distorted beliefs. It's not going to happen. I love and value myself way too much to allow that to happen. I love and value my relationship with the divine way too much to allow that to happen. I love and value the divine way too much to allow that to happen. It's there's not options right now. So I'm telling you, listen, God put me on timeout because of this reason. I don't know what's going on over here. I don't know what's up with this. I know I was told to pause everything, to stop everything, and to fall back into further notice. So that's what I'm doing. Not everybody's gonna be okay with that because guess what? Autumn's not doing jumping. Oh my God, let me help you. Let me help you. Let me help you. Let me sacrifice. Let me lose some sleep. Let me take food in my mouth and out of my mouth and feel like I'm not doing all of that anymore because right now I got told to time out and to focus on myself. And there's nothing wrong with that for anybody else. 4545, I just saw. There's nothing wrong with that for anybody else, but we are all the stars of our movie, right? We're all the stars of our life, or we should be, right? We should all have the starring role in this movie that we call life. And if you're not the lead person, lead actor or actress in your own life, then who is? And it's time to reevaluate and to shake shit up and to shift things. And that's where we're at right now. You have the power right now to shift, but not in a small way. You have a magnified, amplified, like quantum jump power supporting you right now. So it's like, what do you want to change right now in your life? Because you have the magic behind you to do this in a quantum way, to just jump timelines like never before. If you believe, if you have faith, if you follow your intuition, if you do what you need to do, even when it doesn't make sense. Tell you another story before I pull more cards. Sorry, guys. There's a lot. I told you it was a lot that came in this week. So I wanted to take the kids to the beach the other day, right? I'm looking outside and I'm like, oh, it should be nice tomorrow. I'm looking at the weather. And I said, all right, well, if they get up early, I'll take them to the beach. If they get up late, then I'll just take them to the park, whatever, since it's supposed to be beautiful that day. And get up the next day, I'm in prayer and meditation, I'm grounding outside, talking to the divine, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, cool, is this a day that, is this a good day for us to go to the beach, you think? And I get a no. I'm looking up at the sky like, really? It looks like it's gonna be stunning, but all right, well, boom, I don't, I'm not the weather forecaster. You're telling me otherwise. I'm trusting the divine. Again, I'm on this path with, I'm just gonna be obedient and shut up because I might as well just be obedient and shut up. It just makes more sense. It's just life is easier when I follow the guidance that I get. So I'm like, cool. So I should just take him to the park then, right? I get another no. I'm like, what the fuck? Right? And now I'm tripping. It's a holiday. It's mad nice out. I know there's gonna be mad kids everywhere. What's up? I'm like, all right, well, and I said, all right, well, I guess not. And I was so confused, but again, I'm being obedient. So my son wakes up and he's like, oh, I just feel kind of like low energy today. And I'm like, okay, well, eat this, go lay down, da 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 da. And I'm like, all right, well, maybe that's why, because he just probably wasn't like in the mood to do all that today. Again, I don't know what's happening. I'm assuming it's because of that. I don't know. I just move on with my life. So hours go by, chilling at my homegirl's house. She's not here, and somebody pulls up. I don't know this person. I never met them. Um, they're looking for my homegirl. I'm like, oh, she's not here, or whatever. So they're like, okay. So I'm like, and you are, So I'm texting my homegirl like, yo, your people's is here. Put them on the phone. Put on speaker. Talking, blah, blah, blah. So she's like, oh, I love that. I'm glad that you guys are meeting. Like, I'll be there, when I can or whatever. So me and the girl start talking. And I realize now why I was guided not to go to the beach and to the park. She could use some of the channeled advice that was coming through. And so she was led to me for, some guidance and some healings and some other things, with the work that I do, whatever. Um, but I laughed to myself and I was like, wow, thank God I was obedient, because if I wasn't, nobody would have been home to receive her, and the things that transpired and the healings and the awarenesses and all the shifts that happened wouldn't have occurred that evening because of me being disobedient and going to do something else just because, right? And so I say all that to say this, like, be obedient even when it doesn't make sense. Be obedient even when you're like, huh? Like you got like the Scooby face and you're just like questioning everything, because again, and that's just the most recent story, but there's so many times before where I don't know, I trust God. I just follow this lead. I don't know, it doesn't make sense. Why am I doing this? This is dumb. And I go with it anyway, and it leads to a blessing. Again, a series of seemingly unfortunate events got me to where I'm at, but at the end of the day, it was an answer to a much bigger prayer that I had before for my family. You know what I'm saying? And so it took a really bumpy, fucked up, rough road to get here, but we still got here at the end of the day, and that's solely by the grace and the glory of God. All right, anyway. Let's do the work your light cards. I know I've been on for almost an hour. I'm trying to wrap this up soon. I don't know if that's true, but I will. I love you guys. But I had 5 different decks of cards come out for you guys today because the energies were so strong. So, again, I just follow directions. Okay. Follow my intuition, I should say. We always have free will. Nobody can tell us what to do. We always have a choice. Hey, wow. There's a lot from the work your light category 5111. I just saw a mirror. Who or what is triggering you? Right back to the same conversation. Mirror. Again, guys. Reflect. Who or what is triggering you? I tell people this all the time. Why do you care? Right? If there's a situation that comes up and is triggering you and you like care, that's the key to your healing. It's like, why do you care? If somebody is talking shit about me and I don't know them, I don't care what they gotta say. I don't know those people. I don't know that person. What does their little comments got to do with my life? Nothing, because I don't even know that person, right? I don't care. It's like water for duck's back. But when we're dealing with people and situations where it's getting under our skin, it's irritating, it's bothering us, we're losing sleep, we're crying, we're mad, we're agitated, we're frustrated, we're resentful, we feel away. Okay, now we can figure out where the healing lies. What needs to change and how can I change it? Well, they need to, nope. Mira, what do you need to shift in your inner world to create a shift in your outer world? You're trying to start something new and you can't, right? It's like keep trying to start stuff, but it won't. Nothing's working. Okay, well, have you completed and finished things that you started before? Maybe the universe is waiting for you to tie up all your loose ends so that you have the space, the freedom, the capacity to move on to the new things. You know what I'm saying? It's about perspective. Shift your perspective of how you're looking at it. Why are you being timed out? When I get timed out, I stop. Whoa, why is everything having to stop? What is God trying to show me in this moment? What do I need to see? What am I missing? Pause, reflect, ground. Okay? You got a lot of cards. Get grounded. Hello. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. I have to go outside all the time to kill. Thank God for trees. Thank God for grass. Thank God for Gaia. Saved so many lives. Saved so many lives. That pops. Get grounded. It's really important during this time, especially when we have these really intense transits going on. Right? I'm turning around like you guys can see the moon outside the window with me. I know you can't. But there's intense stuff happening. I can feel the energy of another storm coming. So, I'm telling you, it's intense. You know me. Stormy. Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? Again, going back to what? Yourself. Prioritizing yourself. Shifting the focus right now. And this isn't about selfishness, right? This is about self care and self love. If what you're doing is harming other people, then is it really self-love or self-care? Because if I'm loving myself, it's not to the detriment of somebody else. If they're being selfish, they might make it about them, but it's not going to be the detriment to anybody else. I never do anything to harm another in order to benefit myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's where you're at in life, then you need to have a whole nother conversation with yourself, or I don't know, schedule a coaching session with me because we need to talk about it. Do too much. Nurture, love, value yourself, right? Pour into yourself. Take a bath. Go get out into nature. Get your nails done. Get your hair done. Eat some high vibrational foods. I told you guys last week, like I've been really drawn to more like um whole foods and like live things like vegetables and fruits. I'm not a freaking dietitian. I am professionally trained culinary wise, but I'm not a dietitian. I'm not doing that for dietary reasons. I'm telling you that it's going to help you energetically. I'm telling you it's going to help you to sleep, to deal with all the things that are going through your body during these transits and all of the freaking like ascension symptoms, to cleanse out the stuck energies that are in your body, to support you as you move through these portals because they're no game, they're no joke. And if you're not grounded, if you're not getting your rest, if you're not hydrating your cells, you get rocked. Told you had like an energetic flu. I got rocked, y'all. I got rocked. Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher are amongst some of the names that you have been known by in this lifetime and before. And this is what's coming together, right? In the collective. We're connecting. The veil is thin right now. That's why all of these people are here. Wow. So some of you may be clairaudient or becoming clairaudient. My ears are ringing all of a sudden. Ooh, okay. Anyway, so this is the soul family coming through. This is your ancestors, your guides coming through to support you some more, right? Call upon them. This is the ascended masters energy. Thank you, ascended masters. That's the ascended masters coming through for you too. They were just like, don't forget us. Take a break, a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. I be wanting to throw my cards, yo. Like, come on, how many times they gotta tell y'all the same thing? Just chill, chill out. Just stop real quick. It's not. Listen. Nobody's telling you don't go after your goals and dreams. Nobody's telling you that this is it, you're done. We're saying stop for 1 second as you're climbing this freaking mountain and find a place to sit down, drink some water, have a snack, and take in the view. That's all the fuck they're saying. 5656, I just saw. Awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. There's a lot. Throat chakra, ear chakras, crown chakra activations happening right now that are no joke. And especially with the crown chakra activations, for those of you that have been feeling pressure in your heads or headaches or your sleep patterns are off, um, maybe even like a little dizziness and vertigo, there's a lot of channeled information and downloads that are trying to come through at this time, but we need to give our bodies an opportunity to integrate it, right? And so again, going back to like the whole foods, right? The fruits, the vegetables, right? That's helping to support your body to really integrate this stuff because a lot is happening at once and it can be overwhelming, especially pushing through your body, right? Like all of a sudden you got disc moving and, blood thinning or clotting and soreness and illnesses and old injuries coming back and like it just seems like everything is out of whack. Everything hurts. Everything hurts. Everything hurts. Everything hurts. Hurts to breathe. Hurts to live. Hurts to exist. Right? The breeze. Everything hurts. And a lot of that is just energies moving through, right? And like your body going into shock as things are shifting out, and you just need to sit with it and honor it and respect it. And having awareness is having an awareness of your body as well as having an awareness of how you're showing up in the world, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And not a dietitian, not here to pretend to be. I love food. I eat all the things. I eat all the things, but I'm very mindful to, hydrate. You know what I mean? And to rest when I need to rest nowadays and to get out into the sun as often as possible to keep that vitamin D up. You know what I mean? So just do what you're intuitively guided to do. I'm an intuitive healer, intuitive eater. Like I'm an intuitive psychic. Like I trust in my higher self and my body and my team of light to really guide me on this planet because I know they have a much broader perspective of things, right? I know when I'm eating things that are probably not going to settle well with me. And I know that when I do it anyway, that if I suffer, that's on me. It's like me with dairy. I know I shouldn't be eating a lot of cheese, but sometimes I want cheese and pepperoni. So then I eat the cheese, my stomach hurts, and I eat the pepperoni, my face breaks out. And it's delicious, and then it sucks, and then I move on. And maybe I'll have a banana. Don't judge me. Anyway, Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. Of course it is. 777, right? Protection, angelic protection. We talked about this. Amplified intuition, God within, number of self. Follow this guidance. Stop pushing away from it, guys. Some of you are the weapons that have formed against you, blocking your blessings. Your attitude, your fears, your ego. Look at this. Look at this. I didn't even shuffle yet. These are just things that just like slid out. So there's blessings coming with these new beginnings. If you are open to it, if you're open to your healing, if you're open to your solitude, if you're open to accountability, if you're open to love, loving yourself, loving the divine, loving your body, loving where you're at, exactly where you need to be, right? 777 portal, Gaia. What messages do you have for the collective? Sirius gateway. You can't even make this. I can't even make it up. So dope. So dope. Can't even, I can't. Reflection and stillness. Are they kidding me? Is there a theme, people? Guess what? Bottom of the deck. Oh, creation. What did I say? We're being pushed to follow those creative endeavors, whatever they may mean for you. I don't know what your thing is, right? I'm in a gallery. It's beautiful artwork around. I was listening to some dope music. I'm telling you, I'm going to put the link for one of the songs down below. Incredible affirmation song, right? What is your art? I'm a cook, you know? Sorry. Did I just step on you? Is that what happened? Um, I cook and I dance. Those are how I create. I mean, outside of the little people that I created. You know what I mean? Like, those are my forms of creation. Or some of them. I also do candles and other stuff, but design t-shirts. Okay, but anyway, we all have something, right? We all have something. So instead of saying, like, I'm not creative, just start saying, you know what? I am pretty creative. I am pretty creative. I am pretty creative. Just keep putting it out there little by little and just see what flows through you. It's no pressure, dude. Life's work, not a race, right? Karma. This is being cleared up big time within the DNA, right? Within the collective. This is part of the reasons why the ancestors are coming so hard and so heavy because they want to help you to shift this, right? A lot of them feel kind of bad about what they left us with to deal with, right? And so we're cleansing and healing a lot of karmic debt at this time through maternal and paternal lineages, right? Within our communities as well. Again, I got shifted to another location and I was kind of curious why. A place I'd never been, right? This area is new to me. And I didn't know why, but it's because I need to grid light here and help support the ancestral work that's going to be taking place there to move that area and that community forward. And I was like, oh, I thought that was really dynamic. You know what I'm saying? So we're all being called to do something else. It's just tap in and move forward, right? And don't think that the gift that you have today is going to be the gift that may necessarily transform your life, right? Like I have many different spiritual gifts, talents, and skills. And what I'm being called to do right now is not something that I've necessarily done in great magnitude in the past, or necessarily something that I was really open to before. But the further I go along down this rabbit hole and the deeper I get into my work, the more things that I'm open with, the way that I view things now shifts accordingly. And as I move up my ascension path, my perspectives change, right? My skills change, my skill set changes. It's like the difference between giving, you know, between a kindergarten understanding math and someone who is in college, right? They have two very different understandings of what basic arithmetic is gonna be. You know what I mean? Um, So it's just different perspectives. Anyway, we're going to finish up here with the Light Seers Tarot. See my daughter crawling in the background. She must have to go to the bathroom. So funny. Go, go. Don't interrupt. She's so funny. All right. So, any final messages for the? Hold on. This deck is so challenging for me to shuffle. That's why I try not to ever use it on camera. I don't use it personally, but this is the one that had a message for everybody. Unbelievable. All right. What slipped on the floor? Seven of Cups. Funny. I saw that in the pre-shuffle and it just popped out. So you have the Seven of Cups. It's about choices, making a decision. Again, guys, get focused. Get focused. This is a time of deep manifestation. Love that the number 7 came out for everybody, right? So we're manifesting on Amplified. Whatever it is that you decide to choose right now, choose wisely, that energy is being amplified at this time. Choose wisely. Choose with your heart over your ego. Choose with your soul over your ego. Egoic mind is there to keep us safe. Love them. They do so many awesome things. This is not their time. This is the time for your soul to speak through your high heart. Get very clear. What is it you're trying to manifest? And why? Why do you want this thing? Be clear about that. Okay? Final messages for the collective. Beautiful angels and guides. Crack me up there. I just got another card of rest. I can't deal. Can't deal. Yeah, look. Rest. Right? Take a break. Chill out. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Swords, right? That's about sleeplessness, overwhelm, stress. It's time to let all of that go. It's time to put all of that down and to take a break, right? It's time to get some rest so that we can be clear and make a very clear choice on what it is that we want so we can have some clarity. Because guess what happens once we do that? Once we put all of that down, we step into this, right? Abundance, dreams come true, independence, getting the things that we want, wealth and satisfaction, right? The Nine of Cups is like wishes fulfilled. So we get that after we decide to let this energy go, right? We let it go, we surrender, we give it to God. We give it to God, we trust that, we move forward. All right? I'm going to leave it there, guys. It's been over an hour. I love you so much for sitting through this and tolerating me, but you're the bestest. Anyway, I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. Don't forget to book a coaching or reading with me if you want at theenlighteneddaughter.com. I'm also on Fiverr and Etsy. All right. And if you book directly on my website, there's a code for YouTube subscribers to use so that you get a discount. So I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. Happy 7/7 portal, Sirius gateway, all the things. Make sure you're getting crystal clear on what you want. I suggest writing it down big time tonight and really amplifying it, right? When we write it, we see it, we read it, we amplify the energy, right? You already got the 777s helping you out. Why not even give yourself even more of a push? You know what I'm saying? Like sprinkle it with a little gold dust and then add diamond freaking decor. I don't know. Love you guys. Later. Bye. Have Vibe Tribe.